morning, everybody. Oh, we're being recorded, so that's good. Good
Yeah.
morning, everybody. So this is very unusual to this virtually. And so I love the opportunity to welcome RAs every year. And so I thank Sarah for inviting me this morning. And I know you guys are in for a very interesting RLT. So I know that Sarah's done a lot of work and everybody in housing's done a lot of work and is all prepared to offer this to you virtually. I certainly wish that we were all in person, and I know you all wish that we were as well. But I'm grateful that you all are here and looking forward to this adventure. Lots of changes, lots of things that are new, and RLT is crazy in a whirlwind anyway. So we're adding a lot of different types of training and education and lots of new things that you all need to get used to. So I appreciate the effort that's going to go into the next couple of weeks. We're doing a lot and have done a lot getting ready for you all and getting ready for the rest of the students for the fall. I would not have imagined back in March that this is where we would be right now. I really thought that it would have been past and we would have been on our merry way, but I'm looking at everybody wearing masks as they're in groups, and that's important, and being socially distant, and that's important. And those are things that we're going to have to continue to do for probably the foreseeable future. I don't want you guys to end up being more of the enforcers than you have to be, but I want you all to be role models and leaders. And so I appreciate what you're doing right now is really just that. We've got a lot of social responsibility to instill into our new students, and they're going to be looking to you as guides. And so I appreciate that you all are starting off on the right foot doing that. Lots of things in place to help keep you safe, to help keep our students safe. And we're going to continue with that. I ask that you all be flexible. I talked to community staff, live-in staff a week ago Friday, I think it was. And things continue to change. I've talked to parents and students and other folks over the course of the last couple of months, some that are rolling with the punches and understand that things are going to change, and some that are a little frustrated that we make a decision and then we change it here or there or modify it slightly. And that's just going to continue to happen as the CDC guidelines continue to change. We're going to continue to change along with it. Our goal is to provide the best possible education we can to all of our students, and that includes you all. And in order to do that, we're going to have to be able to roll with the punches and change as we go along. And so I appreciate your flexibility as we move forward. I don't want you to think that folks aren't prepared, because truly, truly they are. I've got people on this screen that have been working 50, 60, 70-hour weeks for months, and I appreciate their work. And I'm not telling you that to scare you. I'm not asking you to work 50, 60, 70-hour weeks for months, but I know that your job is not an 8-to-5 job, and you know that too. You knew it when you signed up for it. But please know how much I appreciate you, and know that, the residence halls are kind of ground zero for us. Our ability to stay open, to stay fully open, has everything to do with our ability to house students. I think you all know we never closed last fall, and we have no intention of closing either. So should things worsen and we are required to go remote, the plan is for us to continue to remain open. We know that we'll have students that will have nowhere else to go, and we want to be able to be supportive of that student population. But we also know that there are students that want to be on campus, that want very much to have that college experience. And so we want to be able to provide that for them. And so our ability to follow the rules and to set the stage as we open on the 14th for people to move in is really, truly important. So I appreciate you all and know how much you mean to what we're trying to accomplish at UNT this year more than ever before. We're relying on you all to help us, to help support our students, and help to support each other. So I thank you all. I look forward to interacting with you all, some ways not virtually, hopefully soon, but I hope you have a really wonderful RLT this year, and I look forward to seeing you all as we work our way into the fall semester. My thanks to the leadership in housing and everybody who's kind of put this all together and worked to make sure that you have it. So I'm gonna turn it back over to Sarah. And if it's okay with you, I don't have a meeting until 10, so I'm going to kind of stick around for a few minutes and hang out if that's okay.
Absolutely. You're welcome to join us. We have Danny, who's going to be joining us right at 10. I thought I'd go over we just finished breakfast for the first time at Bruce. And so I wanted to go over how that went with everyone. It was our first time, but it was also Bruce's first time opened up to a larger group since March. So a couple points of clarification for everyone. We will be using the exterior entrance to the cafeteria, what's kind of colloquially known as the summer entrance. So we'll all be entering the cafeteria that way. And then following the signs on the floor are going to be really important. So there's 2 lines. Both lines have the exact same offerings. So you can get the same food on either line. But if you go in the line on the left, you're going to need to stay on the left side of the cafeteria. And same if you go to the line on the right. Make sure that you're not bringing in anything like a reusable water bottle, anything else that into the cafeteria. Those need to stay in our bags or just don't bring it. And then you do have the option to take your food to go if you so choose. They have doubled up, probably tripled up on cleaning measures. They are cleaning, I don't know if you saw, but as soon as you get up, they're cleaning right after you for the next person who's coming. But this is, everyone's first time. So make sure when you're coming into the cafeteria that you wear your mask and that, obviously you're taking it off to eat, but that we're still, staying 6 feet apart, staying within our staff groups and all of that. But everyone this morning did great. Thank you for sticking with your times. The cafeteria does have, stricter capacity rules right now. So it's going to be important to make sure that we are staying on top of all of those times during that. So, but it went great. And I really appreciate everyone. It's going to take everyone doing what we need to make sure that we're successful, both obviously during RLT, but even during the year. So thank you so much. And we've got a few minutes before Danny joins us. I don't think he is on yet. I hope everyone has had a great start to RLT, and we'll give it a couple minutes. Oh, he's already there. All right. Hi, Danny.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it over to you. You'll be the speaker for the group this morning.
And I've got 10 minutes.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, you can have 10, 15, whatever you need.
Outstanding.
All right.
Am I on?
Yes, you're on.
Hey folks, how are you? Welcome back to the University of North Texas. Wow, what a weird experience this is. I've been doing this for a long time, and it is very unusual to be doing a welcome back to RA training in this manner. However, I'm going to say welcome back. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Danny Armitage. I'm the Associate Vice President for Student Affairs. I know you just heard from Elizabeth With, I believe. I was on another Zoom call trying to get there. I did not get a chance to hear what she said, but I do want to make a few statements about this year. First, I'm glad you're all here. I'm glad you're all healthy, and I'm glad that we're going to actually be able to do this face-to-face thing that is going on for the university. Schools across the country. I was just on a Zoom meeting with a national organization about universities and what they're dealing with. This is really important, and this is going to be a very unusual, different year. We have to be doing and looking at housing in a different way. First and foremost, I want you to encourage a couple of things. One, as I can see, keep your distance, wear your mask, do all of those COVID safety things, and constantly talk to people about doing those things. That is going to be very important. We will have some situations where cases pop up on this campus, and we do have a plan to deal with that and to deal with it in a meaningful way. The other thing I want to tell you is that I got a chance to speak with the community directors, and I talked a little bit about the concept of leadership during a time of fear and anger. I'm going to do this. Can I see a show of hands of any of you who have experienced something about the world recently that made you fearful or angry? I see hands. Good. So what does that mean? How do we deal with, what is our role in a world where people seem to be just either very afraid or very angry? And we're going to be dealing with that in multiple different ways. Our world has experienced not only the coronavirus, but we've experienced extremely harmful racial discourse in this country over the last several months, where people are very much experiencing a lot of frustration and anger out of some really tragic things that have taken place. And for incredibly good reason. No matter which way you look at the world, several of us cannot watch the news and watch these experiences without feeling some sense of fear and anger. And in the middle of all of this, we're about ready to have a political election. And if there is anything in the world that divides people in a very uniquely weird way, it's politics. But we're going to have to deal with this. We're going to have to talk to people who are experiencing and saying things and possibly believing things in one way, maybe different than us. But as educators, we have to build relationships and talk to those folks and to figure out ways that we can continue to help with their education, even though we may very much disagree with their view of the world right now and what is taking place. It's tough. It's a tough world to be in. But I will tell you this, in tragedies, crises, all of the different kinds of things that I've experienced in my career, your skills get refined. You will learn so much about working in an environment of this nature. Whatever your course of study is and whatever you're planning on doing with your career, just working through the details of this and figuring out how people respond and what the communication patterns are in an environment like this is going to help you be a better leader in whatever career, whatever field, however you interact with your community down the road. So I would strongly encourage you to, when you are upset, you are fearful, or you are angry, take a moment. When somebody says something, take a moment, try to understand, try to have communication, get other leadership involved. If something creates an environment that is uncomfortable for you, step back from it for just a second and get others to help you work through and help you make sure that you're doing the best possible professional job that you can while you're in that world. I would like to tell you it's all going to be easy. It's not. I would like to tell you that I am very excited about this fall. I have never dealt with something as significant like this in my 38-year career. And even in the most dark times, we do have the ability to find something that we're actually helping people and doing things in a positive way. Now, if that didn't scare everybody and say, you know, and to make sure that you guys know, those of you who are new, You know, I was an RA, I was a hall director, I worked my way all the way up through director of housing. I then became director of housing and dining. My job in and of itself, I manage housing, dining, union, coliseum, bookstore, vending contracts, all of those kinds of things. So I've experienced what you're doing right now with RA training. I've experienced how do we get this thing kicked off? I haven't experienced quite like this year. So I'm anxious to see how you're going to do. And I know that if you put your mind to it, we'll have a very positive year. Questions, comments, or angry exhortations about any of that? I don't know if we're allowed to, if there's any way for people to ask questions because of the way this thing's set up.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions that they would like to ask, you're welcome to put it in the chat. I don't mind reading those out. So if you have any questions for Danny, please make sure that you add those to the chat.
So let me just tell you a few things that are taking place that we're also working on. For those of you who are in the Kerr, Joe Green, Maple area, you see this huge building being built right across the street. A new dining hall called Eagle Landing. Right now, we are hoping that Eagle Landing is going to be opening up sometime mid to end of October. It is a new 750-seat dining hall.
Hey, Danny. You cut out real quick. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Okay, you're back on. Yeah, I don't know. The audio just cut out for a second.
Okay. It says my internet connection is unstable right now.
Oh.
There we go. I was talking basically about Eagle Landing, the new dining hall. It's going to open mid to late October. I hope prior to its official opening, we're going to be able to do some taste testing and run the RAs through. I'm going to need some groups to go through and to do some small focus groups so that we can make sure that that place gets open and running right. There are a few changes with meal plans. So this year, people will be able to do grab and go. They'll be able to go into any of the 5 residential plans to get things to go. Your ID card will swipe on an hour basis. So if you do a swipe in any of the 5 residential plans, you're going to have to wait an hour. So there are some new things that are taking place there as well. The union is also going to be a little uniquely different. We're going to have about 18 to 19 classes that are taught in the union. So you're going to be seeing more classes being taught in other locations out there as well. Okay?
I didn't receive any questions in the chat.
That's more than fine. Hey, listen, folks, stay safe, have fun. I'm glad you're all healthy. And I really do want to thank you for being here, for getting ready to open this thing up. I think the housing team has done a great job putting a plan together to deal with issues of safety, to make sure that we've got a group that's going to come together. And if we can all do what we're supposed to do, we should be able to have a good, successful opening.
Thank you so much, Danny.
Hey.
I got one chat. Oh, is Einstein Bagels opening?
Yeah, okay, so let's talk about Einstein's Bagels for a second. That seems to be the question of the year outside of the coronavirus world, right? Einstein's was under contract. The contractor, for a multitude of reasons to build it out, financially could not provide the performance bond that is required to do work for the state. Facilities and UNT systems separated the contract with, basically terminated the contract with that contractor. In the process of doing that, there was a legal period of time that we had to wait so that there would be no appeal or legal action taken due to ending that contract. Now we are in a position after September 1st to start looking for a new contractor. Einstein's will open, but we had to, because of the fact that one contract was ended and we had to wait through the legal terms to do that, the next one will be coming on board very soon. I see another question down here.
The question was, someone who wasn't in the cafeteria this morning, is there new food being sampled in the Bruceteria during RLT that will be used in the new Eagles Landing dining hall?
So I do know that we are planning on doing some taste testing for Eagle Landing with the RAs. Will it be happening during RLT? I do not think that is set up just yet. We are looking at the possibility of setting something up where we can have small focus groups, and you may be doing some taste testings with small groups of your residents in that first week when they get here. And if I'm not mistaken, what's going to end up happening is all 5 of the residential dining halls will be opening at move-in, and people will have a rotation to go through to make sure that they can try all residents will be able to distance, try all 5 of the dining halls, and they will be going by a color-coded armband in order to make the dining operations work in that first week. So yes, we will be having some taste testings. I'm not sure it's going to happen during residence life training. And there have been some HAs who got to go through and do a tasting about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And I got really great reviews from that of, I'd say 85% of it. Some of them said, yeah, I wasn't too big on the pimento cheese puffs and some different things that were coming out of one of the areas. Any other questions?
Looks like that's it. I'm looking through, I'm trying to look through the different videos to make sure nobody's close to the front trying to write in their chat, but it looks like that. I don't see any other questions coming through.
Oh, I see hands waving and arms flailing and.
Okay, question from Rollins, the Ram fam. I appreciate everyone's naming themselves. I've enjoyed the howling wolves is a favorite. Are there going to be, what is the plan for buses during the year?
That's a good question. I've got to post this on social media, RA training in the weirdest possible way. All right. Buses. So we've got a new shuttle system that has worked out. There's going to be a little bit of a shift around from the shuttle system that goes off campus into the apartment townhouse mode. What they've done is they've gone through and they've looked at ridership on some of the routes, and they are changing those routes around, and they're bringing more routes onto campus to move people around from here to Disco Park, and from here from the Fouts lot, the Victory lot around campus as well. I do think that it is going to be very important, because we have more shuttles operating around the campus to keep social distancing and to keep people, you won't be able to get on a shuttle without a mask, all of those kinds of things. So they are working through the details of that to make sure that it is operating at the maximum efficiency. But it's going to be really important that we particularly talk to our freshmen and let them know about the rules of the shuttle and how the shuttle's working and what's taking place from there. What date does the Kerr cafeteria close? I would love to tell you that. Here's what the process is. Right now, substantial completion on Eagle Landing, as long as there are no other problems between here and completion, is September 11th. Now, at substantial completion, there won't be any furniture in there. That just means that we can occupy the building. From September 11th until October 11th, the dining staff will go in and do what they're calling burning in the kitchen, meaning making sure every piece of equipment works the way it is supposed to work and that it has the recoup times and all of the different things that go along with that. Furniture is scheduled to start moving in sometime around the first week of October now. And so what we're planning is that from the time we get that in, they burn in the kitchen and make sure everything's operating. Then what we're going to try to do is to do some soft openings where we just invite predominantly residents in small groups in to try each of the different locations and to give the kitchen staff a good experience. Then at some point, we will say Kerr closes on this date, and the next day, Eagle Landing will open. And we want to do that in a way where we're somewhat afraid that the first day of its official opening that we might have 5,000 people show up for lunch, and that's not going to be positive for anybody. So we're thinking through the details of how we're going to transition and making that opening work in an effective manner. Just to let you also know that we are putting outside tents near Kerr and near Maple because of the fact that both of those dining halls usually have larger crowds. We're going to have additional outdoor seating where people can go in and get a to-go meal, and they can go out and sit in the outside areas. We'll also have extra outdoor seating up on the library mall for the first couple of, about the first month and a half, to see if people can social distance and move up there in some manner as well. I hope that answers that question. I don't know the exact date, but it will be sometime towards the middle to the end of October. And then if plans go well, what we're going to do is renovate it, give Kerr some additional community space for some meeting rooms and things for Kerr residents, but also utilize the kitchen area and perhaps move, and we're working on a plan to possibly move Mean Greens to a larger location where it has more seating. Anything else?
I saw Crumley move up to the front, but I don't know. Do y'all have questions, Crumley? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Okay, cool. They're good.
Everybody's good?
Yeah, it looks like we're good. Thank you so much, Danny.
Hey, stay safe, everybody. I look forward to running into you on campus somewhere, and welcome back.
All righty. So we will switch over now to Gina, and I've seen her already here. So welcome, Gina. You're still
welcome. Am I on?
You're on. Yep.
Thanks, ma'am. So welcome everybody. Excited to have you back. I saw a few folks this morning, and just to have people here on campus and be starting the new year is the thrill that I always experience, but different. But I'm excited that you're all here, and I hope to get to see you all sometime over the course of the next week. Some of you are new to the organization, and there's been a few changes since the whole group has been left together. First, I want to shout out to the folks who have worked all summers. The conference RAs who became the paid crew, the FAs who have been setting up and breaking down and ended up in different various states, and the summer RAs, folks that have been working nonstop, and the HAs that really have been working nonstop. And so I shout out to all of them. because in a lot of ways they've been our test groups for how we're going to do things next and seeing how it works, and we've used them for feedback and all kinds of things. So I thank you again, those groups. Thank you all for making the choice to be here and to be a part of this. Things are different, but still more than 6,000 UNT students want to live on campus this fall during this time. They're making that choice. And just like you're making the choice to be an RA and to participate in campus life in that way and continue to be on campus, 6,000 students are coming and making the choice to live with us. And so people want to be here, and y'all want to be here, and I want to be here. And we want to do everything we can to make this experience the absolute best that we can. What do we know that's important to everybody is to be able to connect. And that's going to take different forms than it has in the past, maybe, but your job is going to help people get to know each other, to help them find what they need on campus to have a successful experience here and to connect with one another. And now always the student staff are role models, but now more than ever, really demonstrating good community behavior is going to be the hallmark of the experience, and how we can continue to build civility and community together in these times. So thank you for taking that on. I'm happy you're here. My charge is to spend a little time talking about our organization. So I am going to see if I have any technological skills, which I can tell that this leadership team is laughing because they know that it is not true. I can do this. Don't worry, don't panic. So I just want to show you the organization. How to click this box? I don't know what happened. Sarah?
You're sharing your the organization chart.
Thank you, ma'am. See,
Yeah.
I appreciate you. How do I make it fit better? Well, I'll go like this. Okay, so this is what our organization looks like. We're kind of chunked up into a half a dozen groups and groupings, if you will. You are all part of the screen group here, the Residence Life team, which includes leadership and the community directors and the desk staff and the RAs and the part-time student staff members and the graduate assistants. But other parts that in our operation that maybe you're not as familiar with is the whole housing section. All the HAs are out there, and we know you're familiar with it. But this is our ambassadors all around. One of the hallmarks of our program is how much individualized attention we can give to every person about their needs, for their housing needs, and the experience of visiting campus. We have 400 some odd folks in various sundry degrees working in our organization. So it's a never ending barrage of personnel. Many of those are part-time, 121 of those are full-time. And so there's a lot of people to make this thing work. And so we've got some personnel folks. Money and business is a big side of our organization. And so we buy a lot of stuff, we use a lot of stuff, we got to keep track of a lot of stuff. And somebody's got to make sure that we stay within the confines of that. So we have a budget team and a biz ops team that does a lot of the procuring. Some of the other folks, so these people here are the folks that report directly to me. Graduate coordinator for inclusivity initiatives is Michelle Castillo, and my intern is currently Nick. So you might hear from them on behest of me, or you might hear from Meredith over here on behest of me at times. And then the facilities part, the FAs who completed a boatload of work this summer and moved it all in 100-degree heats and then moved it all again. So that's part of our facilities area, where our custodians who have worked nonstop since this all began are a part of that. So that's our org. That's our org chart. Shout out to Mark McLeod over here for making that org chart so pretty. To give you a sense that you're not going to get a chance to see everybody so much, I'm going to try to wing this thing from the beginning. Is that showing up, Sarah?
Nothing's showing up right now.
Okay, but anyway, so I'm gonna talk a little bit as we kind of go through. Oh, I got it in multiple places. We'll go with this one. So how's that, Sarah?
There you go. Yep,
There you
that's
go.
showing. So
Hit the
from beginning.
from beginning. Go. How's that?
That is showing the
Well, we want the whole full thing.
yeah.
I can do this. I can do this.
Hide presenter view. They
Okay. Whatever. We'll work with this.
okay.
I'll go like this.
There you go.
How's that?
Yep, we
Better?
can see it.
Okay. So just so that you know, everybody, that's me in case you haven't met me before and you can't see me so good. Folks, so this is going to be just a quick overview of everybody that works in our organization. I showed you them on the screen, but just so you can put some faces to the names. We'll probably encounter Carmen or Stevie because you have to do your paperwork or have questions about how you get paid and all of that. If anything, if you want to know where all the stuff appears from, there's the team that makes the stuff appear. And there's the people who are going to keep the money in line and who moves it around. I bet you everybody's familiar with James because sometimes you had to apply for housing, and Jessica. Josh and Mark. Josh is supervising the HAs. Mark does all of the fabulous marketing and communications kinds of stuff for us. Folks who are working downstairs in the Welcome Center to help our students, the housing ambassadors, the assignments coordinators, and our Res Life team. Tomas is here in the Welcome Center, and Chris is over there helping manage things over at the Crumley Annex, if you will. The assistant directors of Residence Life provide supervision to the community directors, and then provide supervision to the areas. They're broken down into areas, and you'll see that you've all kind of been rounding up in those communities, several communities per area, but their offices are located in Crumley. And hopefully you'll get to meet them in person somehow periodically. Another assistant director that you don't see is Latoya so much. Hi, Latoya. And
Hi.
they're working on the policies and procedures and community standard stuff, and they've done a lot of work on that this summer. I'm just rolling through them in alphabetical order. So in Bruce Hall, Laurel, Signe Marie, these are our staff over there, including our day and night desk staff that have remained the same. And the custodians who work over in Bruce Hall mostly remain the same. There's been some changes of people moving around, so hopefully you'll get to see and meet all these people. Our clock calls, you all can read the names. Can you see these? Can you read the names, Sarah? Let me know if they can see. So
Yes, we can see it and,
all right, you can
read
see,
it.
so get a sense of who's who and who's there, and the desk staff over there, and Clark team. I'm sorry, Tammy. And then a little bit, in case you're not familiar, the TAMS program is not running a residential program in the fall, and so that was kind of a late breaking extra, so we've done some staff changing things. So Jillian will be joining us, as is Haley from the TAMS team in McConnell, and moving into working with us in the other parts of the communities and campus. So that changes our structure a little bit. Moving over to the Crumley. I see they're in the kitchen, and somebody else is, and Joe Green is in the conference room there. Hello, people. But our desk staff's there. So we're going to continue to run our operations. Most of all of our buildings are full. Our communities are remaining basically the same as they have been. There are going to be some scattered vacancies. We're not going to be doubling up or over assigning RLAs in any capacity if you haven't gotten that information yet. And we're going to open pretty much all around except for McConnell, where we will be, and Dr. Sanchez will be talking more about this, I assume, about managing isolation housing and COVID situations as they arise, and what our plans are for working with that, and what they have been as we work through the summer, and as some of our own student staff know, and some of the orientation leaders know about how isolation spaces work. So the folks that work at Joe Green, you'll see that there's a lot of custodial staff that work at Joe Green College. They do have the shared bathroom, but also that team also does the, somebody do that, does the cleaning of the Welcome Center on the regular. Which the Welcome Center is open and receiving visitors now. We have been giving tours this summer on a limited basis so folks could get to see what their residence hall room looked like. The HAs downstairs have been doing a lot of answering of a lot of questions, varying from how do I cancel, what happens if I don't have any classes on the ground, to what happens if somebody gets sick in the hall and how does that work. And so they've been really fielding lots of questions and emails on the daily. So I appreciate you all for that. So Adam is going to be over at McConnell managing our isolation housing, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. And so most of our folks have remained. A few people have moved around, just so you know, and you can be familiar with who everybody is. There's going to be more time for us to talk, I think. Sarah will let me know if that's true. But
yes, you have more time to speak
okay.
with them again on Thursday. But
right, so we'll get into some more esoteric and fun things. But I just wanted to start today off and say welcome. Thank you for embracing this interesting way that we're going to do things. And to just reiterate what everybody had said prior to me is that flexibility is real key. Having some faith and trust in each other. Folks have worked through this, have thought about it, or have made the best decisions that they can with the information that we have available, and that this is a dynamic and ever-changing situation. And so we're all in this together. And hopefully we're going to have as good a time as we can. I anticipate that residents are going to love living here like they have, like they've demonstrated to me since I've been here. And then that has everything to do with all of you. So I appreciate you taking that on and coming here and being with us. And I'm going to toss it back to Sarah. And I hope you got a sense to see everybody, unless anybody has some questions specifically they want to ask me.
I'll open it up for questions for you first before we, and then I think we can maybe take a little bit of a 5-minute break before Tomas goes. So if anyone has questions for Gina, now is your chance.
Well, the first chance. There's always questions. You can contact me. I'm in the Welcome Center. You got my email. You know, somehow you managed to find me if you need me.
If you have questions for Gina, now is the chance. Please put it in the chat, and then I'll read it out loud so we can all hear it. Kerr staff would like to know how Gina has been over the summer.
Oh, I've been all right. I can't complain. Anxious. I mean, this is something I've done like my whole adult life, and it is so terribly, terribly different. So it's caused me a lot of anxiety. We experienced some cuts and strains and budgets that required us to release, to not have some positions, and being responsible for some people's livelihoods really weighs heavily on me. But it's part of what has to be done. So that's been the hardest parts, is making sure that we can operate in a way so that everybody can stay employed, and hoping and getting people all the things that they need so that we can do the best we can to have residents. So that's been stressful. Otherwise, it's been, I feel like the only people that I have seen for the past 3 months on the regular, James, Tomas, and Craig all day, every day, and Danny. And so having other folks coming in and out now and getting around more. And I've seen other people too, but it's been, and not that I don't adore those guys, because they have been outstanding, but it's been really the 4 of us predominantly nonstop together. But it's been great. It's a great team to work with. So I'm all right, but thank you for asking.
The FAs love you, Gina.
I love the FAs too. Bless the FAs.
Their name
So
in
much
the...
they would make ready, and having all of these things addressed in the halls prior to residents' arrivals wouldn't happen around them. They really, they're always tough and breaking out, but they really were killing it this summer.
And the HAs love you too. So
I love
you know,
the
just
HAs
love all
too.
around.
We're gonna let them go. They came, but it has been in the past 2 weeks, honestly, right, and the HAs can back me up on this. Non-stop inquiries of all kinds, and bless them all, they've been really maintaining positiveness with people who have a lot of anxiety and a lot of questions. And when the answers change multiple times, and the HAs are giving the best information that they can, which is sometimes very limited because decisions haven't been made and people are asking them kinds of things, but they maintain courtesy and customer service oriented. So it's really been a delight. Y'all are so good. I'm so happy that you're back, all of y'all. Then this is going to be fine. It's all going to be good.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Okay, I don't think I see any more questions.
Cool.
So let's go ahead and take a break. I know now that we're doing a lot of things via Zoom, we're going to try to take some breaks throughout so you can have a chance to get up and take your eyes off the screen for a moment. So let's say 7 minutes, everybody come back by 10:40, and I'll pause the recording. And if you have any questions that come up in that time frame, go ahead and put them in the chat and we can address those. But then when we return, Tomas will be continuing. So, alrighty, thank you guys.